Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's Stories of Yanko back here with another video. And before I start the video off, I just want to say shout out to the subs, shout out to the people that have watched my videos, shout out to the people that keep leaving dislikes if I hurt their feelings, even though nobody can see it. Like, I just don't see the point in that, right? But listen, a nigga, he gotta take some time to himself. Even though I rarely upload as is, but I got some things going on in real life that I'm trying to succeed in life at. And I'm gonna be dolo for a while, but I want to go ahead and drop these last 3 videos for you guys. I will be watching the NBA season. If something major happens, I will come and make a video about it. But I gotta go dolo for a little while because some things gotta get straightened out. And I've already gone MIA on all my other social medias, but I had to drop these last 3 videos for y'all. Just my predictions on my own team, that being the Brooklyn Nets. And I love my team, man. Dedicated Nets fan. Been a fan since D-Lo got traded here. And, many people will say, oh, bandwagon this, bandwagon that. It's unfortunate because people believe that you can't be a real fan of a team unless you're a fan of the Lakers or a fan of the Celtics, or a fan of a big market team. Like, there's no such thing, even though the Brooklyn Nets are a big market team, right? But it's not the Knicks, right? It's not historical. But it's like people just feel like, oh, you can't be a fan of a team that's not super mainstream. Like, what? There's no way. Even though, yes, you can be a fan. You can be a fan of that team. You can love that team. You can see the ups, the downs. Many of the bandwagons left with KD and Kyrie, and those are my 2 favorite players of all time. I was loving the Nets before the Knicks even came here. So it's like I'm still a Brooklyn Nets fan. My loyalty has been tested because of Josiah and Sean Marks, but I'm still here, man. And, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to go to Nets games this season and last season. We just gonna have a good time. But let's go ahead and get into it, all right? What do I think the Brooklyn Nets will go this season? I think we will go 46-36. Very ambitious, right? Even though it's only slightly above 500. But I think that we'll win that many games because I don't think a lot of teams are going to be expecting much from us. So I think we're going to catch many teams off guard. And also, it's not like the East is a bloodbath like it was in 2021 and 2022. It's very top heavy. You got teams that are on the same level as us, such as the Atlanta Hawks, the Knicks, the Miami Heat. Sure, people may say, oh, they just made the finals. Like, dude, they got worse. You got other teams like the Charlotte Hornets that will stay irrelevant. You got, teams that refuse to blow it up, such as the Chicago Bulls and the Toronto Raptors. So it's I think we have the best team out of that bunch. Just me, Knicks fans might disagree. Hawks fans might disagree. But I think that we have the best team out of that bunch. I feel like we have the most top talent. But, we'll see. And I think we can end up a top 6 seed and stay out of the play-in like we did last year. And, it's gonna be a tough battle because you got so many question marks around our team, such as Ben Simmons for the most part, and Mikal Bridges, if he's going to, I guess, be who he was that last 27 games going into this season and be the focal point of the offense, be the leader of this team, be the face of this organization. And I think that he's going to do a good job in that. I think Mikal Bridges, he's built for this. I think that, many people want certain players to fall off and just be role players and say, ha, I told you so, because he keeps showing time and time after again that whether if it be the FIBA World Cup, whether it be last season, he's here. He's that guy. And, once he was unleashed, there was no going back. And I think Mikal Bridges, he's going to be all NBA. I think he's going to be an all-star this season. No doubt about that. I think that he's going to be an all-star. The small forward depth in the Eastern Conference isn't that heavy anyway. So, it's what you got. Jimmy Butler, even though he's a shooting guard, you can swap him out. But you got mainly like Jason Tatum. What other prominent small forward is in the Eastern Conference? Like none. They're all out west. So that's if they actually pick from East and West this season. Like I think Mikal Bridges can actually make it. But listen, Nick Claxton. Nick Claxton, my boy. He's the longest tenured net at this point after Joe Harris got traded. And I think Nick Claxton, I think he's going to make all defensive team this year because, he made some noise at his media day, and, put some respect on his name, right? I made a video, right? And I don't think he's going to win most improved player. I don't think he's going to make an all-star team. But I think Nick Claxton is definitely going to have a leap this season. I can see him getting up to 16 points per game, getting back to like 2 blocks a game, 8-9 rebounds. I don't think he'll lead the league in field goal percentage. Hell, he might, because he was hooping last season. But I think he's going to take more threes, like he said, and it'll just be so exciting to see him a full season with this team because he is the vet on the team in terms of the culture of Brooklyn, and I think he's going to be great. Cam Johnson, right now he has like a sprain, like a calf sprain or something like that, hamstring, something like that. But, I think he's going to be good and trying to live up to that contract, even though other role players get paid the same thing, right? But it's like the potential of what his contract can be if he actually takes a massive leap. Like these guys are young, but they're not like super young. But it's just because of their faces, you would think that they're way younger than they actually are. But, these guys are in their late 20s, still in the prime of their careers. And, I think Cam, he's going to be really good for this team. I think, like, he's going to be a more elite Joe Harris, like, especially on the defensive end, and actually, like, show up in games. You feel me? In the postseason. Joe Harris. But, Cam, he's going to be great. Him alongside Mikal, great duo. Great trio because it's really Cam, Clax. Well, it's like, dude, I'm going to get into Ben, all right? But I think Cam is going to be great. That's all I can really say. He's going to be Cam. And Ben Simmons. Now, Ben Simmons, he's going to really, really, really come back this season. I really believe in him. I really think that he's here to stay. I really think that, we should stay packed on him and see what he has in the tank if he can get back to his former All-Star form so we don't have to extend Spencer Dinwiddie. I don't even want to talk about Spencer Dinwiddie. I'm just going to get that out the way. I don't want him on the team. I don't like his play style. I've never liked Spencer Dinwiddie. Like, I never will. It's not happening. So, yeah. Ben Simmons, I think he's going to return back to form. I don't think he's ever going to be an all-star again. But because the talent pool in the NBA is just that deep, you have to average like 20 points to be like an all-star unless Lakers tax or, you just get sucked off like Andrew Wiggins and Drew Holiday last year. But basically, I think Ben Simmons is really going to take this team far. If he comes back and he's everything that he say he is, I really think that we're going to catch a lot of teams off guard. I think that we're going to be an amazing team in the East. I think we're going to be probably the 4th best team in the East, if not the 3rd, depending on the 76ers if Joel Embiid requests out. Joel Embiid goes to, the Heat, like, I don't really see them getting like super duper better, like, because it's like it's a trade-off. But, either way, Ben Simmons, he's going to be back. He's going to be ready, and I'm excited to see him. Royce O'Neal, Dorian Finney-Smith, and, like, these guys, I don't know how long they're going to be on the team, if I'm being honest, because there's been speculation that they're just trade bait, and we might move off of them. I don't know. I'm not going to say I'm a fan of either one. I don't dislike them either because Royce hits clutch shots. I remember, like, when Royce first got to the Nets, like, this nigga could not miss. Like, I remember it was 1 month. Like, this guy was just going crazy. I'm not sure if it was that 18-1 stretch or 18-2. I can't remember what it was last season. But all I know is this nigga was going crazy. I fuck with Royce. I think he the best dresser on the team. Shout out to Royce O'Neal. Dorian Finney-Smith, he came in from the Kyrie trade. He's a good defender. And it's like, I feel like it was a down shooting year for him because it's like when he was wide open, it's like you would think this nigga would knock down a lot of his threes, but when he was with us, it was like a miracle when he hit a three. Like, it's like, oh, thank God. Like, right. But, shout out to him. Good defender. That nigga was getting dunked on by Giannis along with Nick Claxton. So, I don't know, man. But we got to talk about who else on the team. We got Lonnie Walker. He's going to be a spark off the bench. Like, he's going to be good. Everything he did with the Lakers, I think he's going to do with the Nets. We could talk about Cam Thomas. I think he's going to have a role this year. As long as he's not selfish, he can be very annoying with how he sees things and how he perceives things as himself, because I don't like the Mamba mentality. All that shit says is just jack up as many shots. And if you're not efficient at doing it, I don't need that Mamba mentality. Like, I've not really been a fan of Cam Thomas. I loved his game in Madison Square Garden against the Knicks. That was an amazing game. I loved that game. But it's like outside of that, Cam, he can really shoot you out of game if you give him too much leeway. But the only time he really got leeway is when everybody was either hurt or, you feel me, certain trades were going on. So Cam Thomas, as long as he's maturing, as long as he's understanding that he's part of the team and not the team, I think we'll be good. I think we'll be great. You got Day'Ron Sharpe. There's talks that he will be the backup center, like he'll, be getting a lot of minutes. We'll see. Day'Ron, I'm still unsure about him. Like, I like the guy, shout out to NYC. Not NYC, NC, my bad. North Carolina. I don't know why I said NYC, like, but hey, Day'Ron Sharpe, very decent, like, guy. Like, these guys be going crazy in Long Island, and it's just you want to see them play at a higher level in the NBA, but it's like you got to get those runs in. Like Jacques Vaughn, I'm not sure if he's going to give these guys as much run as he says he's going to give them, because Steve Nash really underutilized Kessler Edwards, and he's gone. He's on Sacramento Kings, and I loved Kessler Edwards, but hey, he's gone. And Day'Ron Sharpe, he's going to have to prove it this year. He's going to have to show why he deserves minutes. And, I got high hopes for the guy. And we'll see. What's this, year 3? Year 4, year 3? Yeah. Who else is on the team, man? We got some other pickups that I'm not going to mention. You got Noah Clowney and Jalen Wilson. I think Jalen Wilson could actually be on this team. Like, Jalen Wilson actually can play. That nigga's hard. Like, he made all Summer League third team. Like, he's like that. Like, I rock with him, and hopefully he can make it up to the main roster. But I know he's a 2-way contract, so he's going to end up on Long Island. So yeah, man, I'm excited for those. Like, I know that there's some doubt with Noah Clowney, but nigga, we drafted him, we stuck with him. So hey, right. Who else is on the team? Like, I'm trying to think, because it's like it's in my head. But it's like, I'm just thinking, like, I know we signed some other guys, but I'm mostly trying to focus on the guys that have been on the roster. And I think that that's about it. If I'm missing out on somebody, I think I've mentioned Cam Thomas. I mentioned Day'Ron Sharpe, like, not too long ago. But it's like, we got just a bunch of other pickups. Oh, Dennis Smith Jr. And Dariq Whitehead. Yes, like, I'm missing out on those guys. Dennis Smith Jr., he's become an elite perimeter defender, but he's like undersized, but he's like that Patrick Beverly type, but not vocal. I think he's going to be good. He's going to be a good spark off the bench along with Cam Thomas. But, we'll see what he has left in the tank. Dariq Whitehead, I think he's actually going to be good. I think he's really going to be good. Like, whenever he's back done and healed up. And our coaching staff, I'm not going through our whole coaching staff. I'm not doing that. The only thing I'm going to say is hopefully Jacques Vaughn actually uses Mikal Bridges effectively, because last season there were stretches where Mikal would have it cooking in the first half and he would just go away from Mikal Bridges in the third, and then the other team would catch up and it would be like, what the fuck? Like, it was just like, I understand he was a role player in Phoenix, but you have to understand when there's a hot hand on the court and you have to feed that hot hand, whether if it's Nick Claxton, Cam Thomas, Cameron Johnson, Mikal Bridges, you have to feed that hot hand. You can't just go away from it. If he gets cold, sure, go away from him. But I'm not saying every single play, but it would be stretches where there was no play drawn up for Mikal Bridges and he wouldn't really get a shot until the fourth quarter. And it would be a shame, because it's like, Jacques Vaughn, you don't realize who is on your team now. He is the face of this organization. Treat him as such. You didn't see Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving go without a shot at the start of the third quarter or something like that, because they were the focal point of the team. So hopefully we get something rolling this season. I think we will go 46-36, because I think we're going to catch a lot of teams off guard, because they're not going to think much of us since we ain't got Kyrie and KD. But we're not a lottery team. We are going to be a good team, so don't sleep on us. I hope that Ben Simmons pans out so we can actually extend him. Hopefully not to an expensive contract, because we have to sign Nick Claxton. That is priority number one. And then it's Ben Simmons. If Ben Simmons pans out, we got to keep those two guys. We're going to keep Nick Claxton. Like, Sean Marks has to do that, because our center position has always been asked for a while now. Like, after Jared Allen, it was downhill. Like, we had fucking small ball with Steve Nash, which I hated. Washed LaMarcus Aldridge, who could not move on the perimeter. Blake Griffin, he was good like in stretches, but I remember in the Celtics series, right? We were wondering, why are we not playing Blake Griffin, right? And here's how I knew Steve Nash had no idea what the fuck he was doing, right? It's like, dude, I'm not gonna lie, Nick Claxton was getting cooked by Jason Tatum, but everybody was. Patty Mills, Kyrie Irving, everybody was getting cooked by Jason Tatum. Nigga was on one. And basically, I remember this nigga had Patty Mills, Bruce Brown, Kyrie Irving, all out there together, along with Seth Curry. I was like, what in the fuck? Like, I think, nigga, Bruce Brown was the damn center. Kyrie was the power forward, nigga. Like, it was bad, bro. It was really, really bad. Like, but he played Blake Griffin, and this is game 3. At the end of game 3, now Blake Griffin starts lighting it up, right? Just going crazy, right? Nigga been waiting all the time. Like, he came back and got DNP'd. Right? Like, he didn't get no playing time. Same with LaMarcus Aldridge. They didn't get no playing time, right? And it's like, as soon as he got in the game, he started going crazy. And it was like, oh, why have we been doing this the entire time? Why? And then it's like game 4, this nigga put Blake Griffin in just to try to recreate that magic. Steve Nash had no idea what the fuck he was doing. And it was so clear. He had no idea. But, and then this nigga had a sexual infatuation with James Johnson that season as well. But it's like, you guys see I'm reminiscing, and not in a good way. But at the end of the day, I think the Brooklyn Nets are going to be a good team. I think we're going to be a top 6 seed. I don't think we're going to be in the play-in. And, you know, we gotta thug it out, man. Bro, we got a new face. We don't got the drama. We don't got none of the media shit outside of like whatever they're going to say about Ben Simmons. But outside of that, we don't have no drama. And I'm not saying KD and Kyrie were drama. It's just what they attracted. Because let's not forget, KD is the one who took rings from LeBron. Kyrie is the one who won LeBron a ring and left him. The only all-star teammate that left him. So they had a target on their back, and it brought a lot of negative shit to Brooklyn. So we don't have to worry about that because nobody talks about us. You saw what happened to Nick Claxton. Nigga didn't even make an all-defensive team, or he got dropped out of, DPOY conversations because KD and Kyrie weren't on the team. Sometimes when you ain't got stars, you don't get attention. We're going to be in that Toronto Raptor type of range where Spicy P is going to be like Mikal Bridges. You know what I mean? Where, we got good players. We got like good players, right? That can hoop. But it's like we're not going to get as much attention. We're going to be saying Mikal Bridges is becoming not overrated, underrated. People are calling him overrated, even though like he hasn't made an All-Star team yet. But listen, we gonna make it, man. We gonna make it. Let's see how the season turns out. Hopefully y'all guys see me sooner than later. Just be patient with me, and just pray for me. Make sure y'all pray for yourselves. Just stay prayed up, and take care of yourself. Work out, eat clean, do what you do. Enjoy this NBA season because I am going to enjoy it. I'm not going to make any picks for anybody to win any awards or win anything because it's just unpredictable. I'm not a hot takes type of person. I just call it like I see it. So that's all I got to say. Y'all be easy. And I'm going to see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.